Well, hello everyone, how are you? It's lovely to see you again as usual. So thank you very much for popping over just to check out this wee, very easy actually, recipe, and welcome to you if you're new. But just before I move on, I wanted to say, as usual, a big thank you to the supporters of the channel over on my Patreon page. I'll leave a link to my Patreon just underneath this video if you want to go and check it out. So yep, slow cooker lasagna, who'd have thought? So this is the second ever time that I've made slow cooker lasagna, and I've tweaked my last recipe a wee bit. I've added some basil and mushrooms, and it's so much nicer. And in my opinion, this is nicer than the oven version that I normally do. All of the ingredients and their weights you will find underneath the video. If you click on the show more, it'll bring everything up down there for you. So you'll have all your ingredients and also how much you're going to need. This will serve between 5 and 6 people, and you get a good wedge, you get a good portion out of this per person, and it's just absolutely delicious. A few of the ingredients I got from a company called Marco Alimentari, which I will leave linked underneath the video as well. It's a fantastic website, and that's where I got my ricotta cheese, my sieved tomatoes, and I also got this wavy pasta from there as well. I really wanted the wavy pasta, so that's where I got that. So I will link it underneath. I don't have any affiliation to them, that's just where I found it. So the first thing you want to do is start your meat sauce. So in quite a large frying pan, you want to get some olive oil, get it up to a medium heat, and break up your mince. Use a good quality steak mince, because you don't want it all fatty and greasy. You want it quite lean. To that, you want to add your garlic and your onions and mushrooms if you're using them, and a good dash of salt. You just want to cook this until everything is browned. Don't worry if it's not cooked all the way through, because it is going to be in your slow cooker for 4 hours. To that, you want to add 1.5 cans of sieved tomatoes. If you can't get sieved tomatoes, passata would do, but the texture of the sieved tomatoes is just nicer. 1 can of chopped tomatoes and about 4 tablespoons of tomato puree or tomato paste. Stir everything together, and to that you want to add about a tablespoon of Italian seasoning. Let that simmer away and go on with the white portion of your lasagna. So into a mixing bowl, put your ricotta, another wee dash of salt, and then your grated parmesan and 1 egg. And don't worry, obviously this egg is raw, but by the time it's been in the slow cooker for 4 hours and everything is cooked, it'll be absolutely fine. Give everything a good mix together with a fork. Set that to the side just now, and go back to your meat sauce, and by this stage it'll have had about 15 or 20 minutes simmering away, and that'll be good to go. And you can see there just how lovely and rich that looks, and the house was smelling fantastic. So all you have to do now is get this assembled. So pop your slow cooker or your crock pot onto high. You want to start off with a very shallow layer of your meat sauce. This is just to prevent your pasta sticking to the bottom of your bowl. Now, I used the wavy pasta, like I said, and this was the website that I found it on, and it was very reasonable. They did have it on eBay, but it was a ridiculous price. So I found it on here, and it was only £1.95 per box. You can use whatever lasagna sheets you like, but like I said, I did want the wavy one, because that's the way you see it when it's being done by an Italian or a professional. So I did want to try and find that, and it was next day delivery. Crazy. So whatever pasta you use, you are going to have to snap it, just to make sure it fits. You're never going to get an oval shaped pasta, or if you do, I've never seen it. So you just want to build up your layers. So some more meat sauce, and then some ricotta, and then about 1/3 of your mozzarella. This is going to make 4 layers. And like I said, you just want to repeat your process. So some more pasta, then your meat sauce, then your ricotta, then your mozzarella. And like I said, you will just need to snap your sheets to make them fit. And it doesn't matter, your end result, you're not going to see this anyway, and it's just going to look and taste as it should. So then your meat sauce, again, just give it a wee press down. And then your ricotta cheese, again, just give that a wee spread around. Don't worry if it's not perfect, because like I said, everything all sort of melts down and squishes together as it cooks anyway. And in my top 2 layers, I'm going to tear a few bits of basil up, fresh basil, just to give that white sauce a wee bit, you know, a bit of a different flavour. Again with your mozzarella cheese, and just give this a wee pat down, just to make sure it's nice and flat and even. Then with your pasta sheets again, and just snap them to make them fit. And then with the last of your meat sauce, give it a wee pat down. And then your remaining ricotta cheese, and I'm just going to put some more basil on top. And then the last of my mozzarella cheese on top of that. Now this has filled my whole dish, and you're thinking, oh my goodness, when this is ready, this is going to be a nightmare to try and get out, you know, into a nice square, but trust me, it does work. So just leave your lid on, leave this on high for 4 hours. Don't be tempted to take the lid off or anything, just let it cook away for 4 hours. And once it's ready, you will have something that looks like this. But what you're going to have to do now is let this sit with the lid on for half an hour, but turn your heat off. But let this sit for between 20 minutes, half an hour, and it will firm up, and you'll be able to lift out your squares quite easily. I mean, look how soft that is, and you just know it's going to come out nice and neatly. Or I could tell, you can just tell when you're cutting in. So I just made a basic Caesar salad for the side, and look at that big wedge of lasagna, and look how nicely it's sitting in that plate. I was super chuffed with this. Now if you want it a wee bit browner on the top or crispy around the edges, you can put your crock pot into the oven, you know, for about 20 minutes just to let it crisp up on the top. I've got a crock pot, and crock pots say you can do that with their liners, but if you're not sure, I would check online or check with your manufacturer, just to, you know, check for your individual machine. And this was it inside, and as you can see, it has held its shape really well, and you can see all the individual layers there. Like I said, I was really pleased with this, and yeah, there were none of this left half an hour after this video was filmed. It was all gone. Everybody loved it. It was like an absolute hit. So I would say, if you're a fan of lasagna and you've got a slow cooker, definitely give this one a go. And if you do, and if you follow me over on Instagram, you know, do send me your pictures, because there are so many of you who now send me your photos, and it's always lovely to see things that I've made or things that I've shown you coming to light made by somebody else. You know, it's just so nice. It gives me a warm fuzzy feeling inside. So thank you very much for popping over just to check out this fantastic recipe, and I do hope you give it a go. So whenever you choose to join me again, which is probably going to be tonight for meals of the week, or during the week for another recipe or shopping haul, and I've also got my degusta box coming as well. So I hope to see you off a soon back here on What's for Tea. So take care, and bye for now. Bye now.